right, and here it is, finally the last of the ToyWorld, I guess Nautilbots is what people were saying, but they're TW-T series. This is TW-T04, who is the last one out, unless you ordered them all at once and they're all coming at the same time. But TW-T04 Highway, based off the old Freeway Throttlebot. Here he is in his blue car. It comes in standard Throttlebot packaging. Just look at his alt modes on the back. Comes with his instruction sheet and a little plastic bio card. And I'm not sure how this is being handled. Mine came with this, the large golden version of the combiner gun. Though I got mine, I was told that if you bought 04, 05, and 06, like if you bought the last three together, you would get this gun. Some retailers may have this and then just include it with Highway. His name, actually, he was Expressway is how they were listing him for a long time, but it is Highway on the final packaging. Some retailers may just give it to you for free with Highway. Maybe they'll require you to buy a group of the bots. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but I did get this with Highway here. And it's just, like I said, it's just a golden version of the gun that came with Shinebug, I think, but for the combiner. And we'll show that off later on. So there's everything he comes with. He does have red rear view mirrors for, they're painted a metallic red. It matches the rear lights. Maybe they just wanted some color on him other than a solid blue here in vehicle mode. I'm not sure what's up with that, but it is, as you can see, it's not just like a painting error. It's actually in all the pictures on the box as well. So regardless, he transforms similarly to Chase, or Trace, I think was his throttle, was his ToyWorld name. Not quite exactly the same though. So we pull the gun out right here, and the gun, there's a peg right here that the gun sticks on. You can see it right there above my finger. And there's no actual peg hole. It kind of sits right here, and you can kind of see there's a couple slightly curved bits here that allow it to. It really has to go in one way, but it pegs in right there in this empty slot on the other side of the gun. So you pull that off. You lift up the rear piece here, which is on a ball joint. And then this whole assembly right here. Back canopy comes up like that. And again, it kind of untabs from underneath the front of the hood and comes up like this. Fold this up underneath here. You see now you've got his legs free. And the legs actually slide out and around like that. And once you've extended them, you want to rotate them up here at the knee, or above the knee, up here at the thigh, and then rotate them there at the knee. That gives him his forward to back knee rotation, which is also used to fold them up into the car mode position. This piece flips out as the foot, and this piece, you lift it up, you flip this over, you flip it down, and you kind of rotate this to fit wherever. These heel pieces have always been kind of the bane of my existence, but something like that. You just get that up in there. Maybe like that. I don't know. That forms his heel. Maybe just do it this way. Yeah, maybe like that. I don't know. We have that form the heel. There we go, like that. There you go, like that. It goes back the other way for vehicle mode. Okay, so actually does it? Or maybe for hand mode. Regardless, so you just bring this up. Bring the point down. There we go, just like that. No, wait. Oh, there we go, like that, okay. Extend the leg. Rotate, rotate. Now you got his feet done. And come up here, pull the arms out. You actually want to pull the arms out. This hood piece here. Now the hood piece works a little differently. You gotta get the arms unattached here. Pull them, attach them and bring them down like this. And you kind of lift this whole piece up. Now this front piece, you can see it attaches right here. and it likes to come unattached. I don't know if this piece is supposed to be glued in. You can transform it without removing it. The instructions show you to transform it without removing it, but it wasn't glued in. It can come loose, but it just plugs in right here. But ideally, you lift the hood up, you flip his head up, out like this, flip it up and around, lift it up right there, and fold this down onto the hood. And as this comes down, these pieces come up and rotate forward. And there's a couple little tabs under here. You see those slots here on either side that are going to tab over these little tabs on the side of his head. So these kind of fold up and lock into place. And you got to lift them up a little bit, get that lined up with the tab, and cover the head up. There you go. And that kind of locks the head and neck in place. It's a little bit of a, because of the dual hinges on the thing and everything, it's a little tricky, but once you get it done, everything should even out and hold the head in place. Now you see they raise up a bit here on this tag right here as well as they come up. And again, it came loose. Like I said, I feel like this is supposed to be permanently attached on here, but whatever. So it collapses there to form his chest. And then this comes down, and you can see it, that piece slides into his chest there. And then this folds up to form his upper body. And then these pieces come up, fold up, come on, fold up, to form his... It's annoying. Come up to form his shoulders. Again, this isn't as difficult when you're not sitting behind a camera. But yeah, this comes up to form his shoulders. Again, raise that gray piece up there. These just, his fists flip up like that. The arms extend, and this just kind of flips around like that. Extend the arm. Lock that in place, and then this piece right here, once you've got all this folded up, it kind of rotates up, and then this kind of this little hinge right here kind of sits in this gray piece right here. You just kind of push that together, and that kind of locks everything together there. Get his shoulders up, fixed a little better. Straighten up his torso. Rotate his waist around, and there is Trace in robot mode. Lock this into place right better, and he can hold his pistol. And there he is. Here he is. Quick size comparison with Orion. He's about the same as the other ToyWorld throttle bots. Here he is with Orion Pax Deluxe. So you see a little bigger than Deluxe. Not quite full Voyager sized, but bigger than, you know, admittedly Orion Pax is a smaller Deluxe, but a little bigger than a standard Deluxe these days. Here he is with, since I've got him here, the DX9 War-In Pocket Speedo blur. Just to give you an idea of how he compares with various size classes. Now he does become a limb for the combiner mode, and we'll show that off real quick, and then we'll show off the combiner, and that should be pretty cool. Who has no official name as of yet, for whatever reason. First off, with his gun, I mentioned there aren't any places really to store the individual guns in combined mode. They don't store in their car mode places, but you can actually fit all the guns on the larger pistol. There's enough, all these little ports on either side of the gun. You can see there's shine bugs, there's auroras, side loads, traces, grind rods, and then you can put them wherever they fit on any of these posts. They all sit on there, and you can have them all on the gun if you wish. Now, side loads isn't official. There's like this little gap right here, and I thought when I was messing around, I thought maybe these little grooves here on the bottom of the gun would snap over this, but they don't, because they don't You can see that's just angled pieces there. They don't actually snap in. But I realized it was just about as wide as this, and while it doesn't, there's nothing there to clip it in. It's just the right width to kind of click that in there, and you can have all the weapons on one gun. And the problem is, like, normally I just say just peg this on like the others, but everyone else, all the other ones of these have these round pegs, and for whatever reason in Sideload's design, his fist does not. It has a squared off peg, which is just a little bit too small for it to sit tightly in any of these grooves. So if you want to attach it, really the best way to do it is to tap that in right there. So there's the gun. So we'll put his gun there, and basically to turn him into a limb, you want to rotate his legs back out the way they were, the upper thighs. Oh, other way. There we go. Wait, no. Yeah, there we go, like that. So rotate his upper thighs in the way they would normally transform to car mode. And here's where you flip these around. Come on. To get them in the right position, you want to bring the pointy bit should go. Remember how I did this. This is kind of set. Yeah, there we go. Pointy bit should go like that. This kind of sits in between the wheel and the gap there. You want to make sure that the pointed part is down here in the corner. That gives it enough clearance to snap together. So again, flip this over, flip it around, bring it down, and bring that pointy bit in, and kind of, like I said, kind of slide this up in the groove between the black piece and the wheel. That's where you want that to go. And the upper part, the rest of it, you basically just turn right back into car mode. So bring these up, flip this down, flip this fist in, kind of pull the backpack off for just a second here. Bring the bring the shoulders down. Those joints, those inner hinge joints in there are very tight. Bring that down. Okay, that popped off, whatever. We'll lift this up. We'll flip his head up. Fold it in like that. Flip this up and around like this. We'll go ahead and swing this back into car mode position. Again, slide it on this little post here. Slide it on that little post. And we'll tab that back in. Just like that. And then bring his... So this is down, fold this back up. Yeah, I really think that should be permanently attached. Let's snap all the front and the back together. So we'll let you, there we go. There we go. So you got him like this. You leave the canopy kind of folded up like this. He's going to be this arm, so we rotate him. Bring it around like this. Oh, wait, you know what? Could have sworn I had to rotate something back to car mode for this, but nope, you want it like that, so it rotates properly. All right, so there you got the elbow hinge, and then you take his left fist here, plug it right here between the cars, or between the axles here. Make sure the feet are folded down. And just peg that together. There we go. Once that's all pegged together, there you've got the arm. And now we'll put the rest of them together. So I'm not going to show how to transform every single one of these into their configuration for combined mode. I will say this booklet, I can't remember if this came with Shinebug or Sideload. I think it came with Shinebug. But if you're getting all 6, you're going to get this manual. This manual that shows you how to form the limb parts, Actually has a lot of nice, they're not like schematics or drawings. These are renders. These are full color pictures of the actual toys in here. With some actually really decent pictures of how to get everything to the alt mode configuration. There's not a whole lot. You know, I know some instructions can be vague or whatever. These are actually really good instructions to get everything to their alt mode configuration. In the case of these two, obviously, it's just a matter of flipping up the front end of the cars. So you make sure you find the right connector pieces, and this flat one is the one that goes on the grind rod. And basically, you just bend the toe down. These slots here on the bottom of his feet, you just slide right into here, and flip that back up. You want to make sure his wheel's off, which is why it's on the gun. Otherwise, this won't fit. You find the one of these that fits. In this case, the only difference between these foot pieces, aside from which side this little piece is on, is on here. You can see on this side the peg is up near the front of this side panel. I mentioned this in the other review. And on this piece, it doesn't have this cutaway back here, and the pegs on the lower end of this side panel, like you can see where those are in relation to each other together right there in relation to that side panel. So the ones that are up near the front go on grind rod with the slight cutaway in the back here. And you take that, you just plug this right into the back of grind rod, fold this down and plug this into the little pegs on either side of him, and then close this down, which pegs over those, locks it on, and now you've got the knee joint here for grind rod. Same with Aurora. You take the foot piece that looks like this, slide it on, lift it up, and then use the other piece right here. Again, it tabs on. The license plate here does not affect this at all. Of course, the weapon doesn't fit under there because of where the pieces plug in. But so yeah, push that all together, lock it down, snap it in place, and there is Aurora as a foot. You see there's some good ankle tilt, a nice ratcheting toe, the ankle ratchets as well, so you can get some good solid poses out of there. And then this knee ratchet here is also a good strong ratchet. We'll get into more of that when we get to combine mode, but right there are the feet. Moving on up, we go to side load, who kind of collapses up his robot mode a little bit. You can see there's his front here. So right there, we take to connect this. These feet here, you have his feet back here. He's got some slots here on the back of his feet. So you slide grind rod over here and Aurora over here. Make sure those line up right. There you go. Get those locked in, and now you're starting to get them together. Come up here, up on his upper body here. Let me see if I can't raise this tripod up a little bit more, get a little better angle on this. So you come up here and you come around to the back. You take the torso piece right here, and it's going to sit. You can see there's a peg and a hole on either side of this piece, and that's going to peg in to you can see on the back of his arms here, peg, hole, peg, peg, hole, peg, and that's where this is going to go in and lock on to the side load here. You just want to make sure that those pegs line up and push that together on this side. Come over here, line up those pegs, push it together on this side. You may have to get behind this piece here. And ultimately what you want is for this piece, this chest piece, you can see it's sitting a little low right now. And you take the chest piece, get this lined up behind there. This should slide up a little bit so that these panels end up sliding behind the upper chest panel here like that. So that fills in, and then this covers those door panels here. There we go. And he's standing up pretty tall right now. You take Trace, who transforms pretty much the same way as highway, and do the same thing with his hand. Split the legs, and then just plug the hand in here between these two, peg it back together. Just like that. Shine bug, again, if you look at the back here, 2 pegs right here, peg, peg hole, peg, peg hole. And those plug into these 2 pegs right here. Peg hole, peg, peg, peg hole, and vice versa. So you kind of line them up. I find it helps if you plug these bottom 2 in first. Then line up one side, get that plugged in, squeeze it in up there, come to the other side, peg that in, get that peg lined up, get that peg lined up, and just kind of push him tightly on. He forms the backpack. And then the arms, you can see, make sure they're oriented this way with the triangle bit up on top, the wider bit up on top, because you can see this is how the wider part of the chest piece is here. These 2 pegs go right on here like this. And again, over on this side, here's the triangular shape of the chest. There's the 2 pegs. Peg it right on there like that. He's a little tighter going on. And then you have the still unofficially named combiner from ToyWorld. He's huge. He's large. Back up here. He's a big guy. He's big, hefty. I didn't bring any of my other combiners in just because I had only so much room. But if you remember the comparison to Orion earlier in the video, there he is. He's much larger, much bulkier. Here he is with Orion packs. Again, very large, very huge. You see if I can't get a better angle on some of this stuff. Oh, actually, let me get him in the shot and then we'll focus everything. Yep. All right, let me get my hand there to balance out the white. Okay, so there he is. He's very large. Again, here's Orion. Both Orions, actually. Here he is with, we said Speedo. Oh, I forgot a piece. He also has this crotch piece. I forgot to put this on to, it pegs, this little square piece pegs in right here onto side load. So there he is, giant combiner. He like I said, he's huge, he's massive. He's got, there he is from the back with Shine Bug back there. And Shine Bug does help balance out the mass. Like if you look at him from the side and stuff, it gives him more of a fully combined, coherent look to him. Personally, I prefer it like this. Some of the pictures made it look better to have Shine Bug rotated around to the front, and I'll show that in just a minute. But in hand, for whatever reason, I really think I prefer this configuration a little better. But you know, it is possible. It's to each your own. Get him over here a little bit. So yeah, he can hold, like again, you can have the gun. You don't have to put all the guns on either of the guns, but there's the gun with everything attached to it, and it's very easy to get those right there in his hand, plug it in. He holds them very well. Here's the golden gun. Again, you can stick it on either side. They just peg right into the hands, and he's fully armed and very cool. Now, I did mention, I'm not going to swap the hands. You would want to swap the hands, or at least swap the arms, if you're rotating Shine Bug around to the front. I'm just going to do it the quick way, where I just rotate the torso around. But basically, if you rotate, you can rotate the torso around to have Shine Bug on the front. It's just a matter of rotating it right there at Sideload's torso, turning the combiner head around, and then, again, either removing the arms and attaching them to the other side. Like I said, you're going to have to swap fists, or what have you. Now, for some reason, this, like I said, this always seems to be a little bit more front-heavy when I turn them around, and I'm not sure if it's just where the waist sits in regards to the rest of him on side load. I don't know if maybe the center of balance shifts when you rotate him around like this. It is possible to get him to stand. You just gotta find the balance point. But yeah, so there he is with Shinebug on the front as a chest piece. And some people prefer that, and I can't really say they're wrong either. It does, if you do it like this, you do get all six of you, very visibly all six of the robots involved. You get Aurora and Grind Rod and Shinebug and Sideload and Highway and Chase or Trace, and you see all of them together. Like I said, there's just something about the way there's like some gaps here, just here on Shinebug that don't look bad as a backpack, are a little bit more visible, obviously, in combined mode when you put him on the front. But it's entirely possible. You can see he stands. He's got, and you'd prefer that. It's a legitimate way to display him. Like I said, I personally do prefer having the official version with Sideload making up most of the chest here. Yep. Just trying to bend that knee, not pop out. Yeah, bending the knees forward can sometimes slide them out like that. But, yeah. Go ahead and rotate everything back around. But you can see posability-wise, he's got the bicep swivel. He does have the up and down and rotating joint in the head, which gives him a lot of motion. He's obviously got the waist swivel there you saw. He's got the ratcheting swivels up here in the shoulders. He's got the bending bits here in the elbow. He can collapse a little bit. He does have a wrist swivel thanks to the way that combines. He's got the opposable fingers, which I think we showed off in a couple of reviews. He's got he doesn't have a thigh swivel, but he does have the he's got the hip. This can go out and that front to back. Like I said, when he's standing up, the hips are these knee joints are actually pretty solid. It's just that bumping them back, they do slide out fairly easily, which is good for when you're pulling them apart, but less so when you're trying to move those. So he's got side to side, front to back on the hips. He's got the heavy ratcheting knees, and of course, like I said, he's got those ankle tilts as well as the ratcheting toes and heels. So you can actually get some pretty decent poses out of him. Oh, there went the... Yeah, always be careful with Trace, because he does have those loose mirrors. But yeah, he's really cool, really massive. The individual, like I said, even if you're not going for the combiner, I think the individual modes are pretty great on their own. And as a combiner, he's actually even cooler. So there it is. There is Throttlebot combiner from ToyWorld, a Highway, and then, of course, the combined mode. I've been calling it Throttle Kaiser 7 after something Vangelist posted on Twitter. I've seen the name Pile Up. I think Pile Up's a good name for him. Throttle Master. I've seen a lot of really good names for him. So call him whatever you want, unless and until ToyWorld actually gives us an official designation for the combined mode. But anyway you slice it, if you buy these guys, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. The combiner mode is fun and solid and big and looks neat. And the individual robots are all great on their own. So yeah, there it is. The Throttlebot combiner, and of course focusing this time on Highway.